Okay, today we're going to talk about customary capacity, which is essentially how much liquid, not just liquid, but for what we're doing liquid, something can hold. And so I am going to tell you the very exciting story of King Gallon. Okay, and this is just an illustration. You may have seen this before. I'm a visual learner. This always helps me with conversions. It can be a little bit tricky sometimes just for me personally, and this is always helpful. So I like to show you all this. Okay, so this is King Gallon, and King Gallon had 4 queens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there were 4 queens in King Gallon's kingdom. Okay, maybe he didn't personally have 4 queens, and then each of those queens had a prince and a princess. Prince and princess. And then each of those prince and princesses had 2 crowns. Okay, they had a morning crown and an afternoon crown. My dog is going psycho. Morning crown, afternoon, morning, afternoon, morning, afternoon, morning, afternoon, morning, afternoon, afternoon. And then each of those crowns on top of it, Jack Bauer, stop. Each of those crowns had 8 jewels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm just gonna write 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Okay, you all get the idea. There's 8 jewels on top of each of those crowns. So what this represents, okay, the King Gallon represents a gallon, so like a gallon of milk. And then a gallon of milk has 4 quarts. Each quart is made up of 2 pints, and I should have made these bigger. Each pint has 2 cups, and then each cup has 8 ounces. Okay, so we can take what we just did up there, what we just drew, and we can fill out these conversion factors at the bottom. Okay, so 1 gallon, King Gallon, has 4 quarts. Okay, King Gallon has 8 pints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. King Gallon has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 cups. Okay, and King Gallon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16 cups, right? And each of those cups has 8 ounces, so he has 128 ounces. So these are all the equivalents for a gallon. A gallon is the same as 4 quarts, 8 pints, 16 cups, or 128 ounces. So then let's just talk about the quart. Okay, so just one of these queens. So 1 quart is the same as 2 pints. 1 quart has 4 cups. 1 quart has 8, 16, 24, 32 ounces. And then down here, what if we're just talking about the prince? Okay, one of these princes, he has 2 cups. Each of those cups has 8 jewels or 8 ounces, so that's 16 ounces. And then the very last one cup is 8 ounces. Okay, so I know it's weird, but this, I promise, is for me personally the easiest way for me to remember these conversion factors. So when I have to do problems like what's on your next page of notes, okay, it makes it so much easier. So let's look together. So 72 cups is how many pints? Okay, so think back to the day that we did the length, right? So what is bigger, a cup or a pint? A pint is bigger. So we're going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit. So we're gonna divide it up. So 72 cups divided by how many cups make up a pint? It takes 2 cups to make up a pint, right? So if I have 72 little cups going around, and it takes 2 of them to fill up a pint container, 72 divided by 2 would be 36. Okay, look at the next one. It says 46 pints is how many ounces? Okay, so I'm gonna come over here. Well, I know that 1 pint is 16 ounces, right? 1 pint is 16 ounces. So 46 pints is how many ounces? So that's going to be multiplication. So every pint has 16 ounces. So 46 times 16 is 736 ounces, right? Think of it like this, if it helps. So we have a pint, that's one letter P, and there's 16 ounces on top. Well, what if I had 46 letter Ps? Well, they would each have 16 ounces, so 46 times 16. Letter C, we have 292 quarts is how many gallons? So 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So if I have 292 quarts, how many groups of 4 could I make? So 292 divided by 4, right? So it's essentially saying, well, what if we have 292 queens? How many kingdoms could you make? How many king gallons could there be? Well, if each one has 4, 292 divided by 4 is 73. Letter D, 17 gallons is how many pints? So look at your little sheet. How many pints go into 1 gallon? 8. So if I have 17 of those, 17 times 8 is 136, right? If every king gallon has 2, 4, 6, 8, and this is saying, well, what if I had 17 king gallons? Then that's 136 pints. Okay, letter E. 4 quarts is how many ounces? So within this quart, there's 8, 16, 24, 32 ounces. So if every quart has 32 ounces, 4 times 32, and use your calculator, it's totally fine, would be 128 ounces. Okay, and then the last one, it says 60 cups is how many quarts? So if I have 60 crowns, right, how many queens does that make? So let's look at our conversions. So is there something that we wrote down that relates cups to quarts? Well, 1 quart is 4 cups. So how many groups of 4 can I make? And that's 15. Okay, let's talk about this dimensional analysis stuff again. So, letter G. So if I have 1,000 gallons going over, or if I'm producing 1,000 gallons of maple syrup every hour, okay, I want to know, well, how many pints can I make in a minute? So I'm going to do what I've done before, 1,000 gallons per hour. Okay, and now I'm just going to worry about the gallons part. So I'm trying to get pints on the top, not gallons. So is there something that I know that relates gallons to pints? Yes, 1 gallon has 8 pints in it, right? If you look over here, king gallon has 2, 4, 6, 8 pints. And so now what we have to do, if I'm going to cross things out, right, gallons and gallons cancel. So I have pints on the top, which is what I want, but now I have to take hours and make it into minutes. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. Hours and hours cancel, so I'm left with pints on the top, minutes on the bottom. Is that what I want? Yes. So 1,000 times 8 is 8,000 divided by 60. So 8,000 divided by 60 is 133.3. So if you're making 1,000 gallons every hour, you would be making 133.3 pints every minute. The first time I did it in the incorrect order, and I don't want to confuse you guys, so we're going to do it again. So 2 ounces for every second. So then what's going to happen is there are 32 ounces in 1 quart. Okay, I got that from over here, right? 1 quart is 32 ounces. And now I need to figure out how to go from seconds to hours. So there's 60 seconds in 1 minute and 60 minutes, I'm running out of space, in 1 hour. So now, ounces and ounces canceled, quarts are left on top. seconds and seconds cancel, minutes and minutes cancel, and there's hours on the bottom. So what do I need to multiply on the top? 2 times 60 times 60, okay, is 7,200 over 32. So 7,200 divided by 32, 7,200 divided by 32 gives me 225. So if our machine was putting out 2 ounces of orange juice every second, after an hour, we would have 225 quarts. Okay, and I know dimensional analysis can be a little tricky at first, especially since we're not in person. So don't hesitate, like if you're like, okay, well, it's doing 2 ounces times every second. Well, that would mean that after 60 seconds, it's done 120 ounces. And then after 60 minutes, it's done 7,200 ounces. Well, look, that's exactly what we had here, right? And then we know that every quart has 32 ounces, so that's 225.